So let's talk about your papers that you publish in academia and whether or not they move the needle when you're applying for non-academic jobs. So I've talked about this. People have asked me about this on social media a few times, and I've talked about it. And recently I brought it up on TikTok again, and somebody was asking me, so do you think that you should spend more time networking, building that, rather than just focusing on your papers alone? And I think that's a great question. I answered that person on TikTok, but I wanted to make a little bit of a longer video to respond to that question. So first and foremost, let's clear this up. Papers in academia are important, right? If you're a PhD student right now, if you're a postdoc, even if you are a mid-career faculty right now and you're watching this, your papers are important. The reason being, you are contributing new knowledge to a body of knowledge, and that's really important, right? Without this knowledge, we as the human race, right, wouldn't have advanced to where we are right now. So publishing these papers are important. I want to really establish that. And the second part to this is that these papers that are published in academia are what industry and non-academic institutions actually build their products off of, whether this is in the social sciences or the biological sciences or within the arts and humanities, right? These papers are important in shaping society. So I'm never going to say that the papers you publish or the papers that you've worked so hard on in academia are not important. They are important and they have their place. However, when you start applying for jobs outside of academia, don't weight your papers the same way we weight these papers within academia. So within academia, right, your publication record is important. We even have H indexes, right? That sort of gives us a score on how many papers you've published and where you've published them, right? However, outside of academia, this is not usually what people are looking for. They are looking to see if you can solve the business problem they are hiring for. Whether it is a for-profit company or a not-for-profit company, they're just really trying to find somebody who can help them solve the problem that they have, right? And so it's really important for you to learn how to communicate, right? How your education and experiences make you a great fit for that role, and not lean heavily on your academic accomplishments as the reason that they should hire you, right? Doing that is sort of saying, look at this thing I've done. Yes, I haven't answered your question about being able to ride this bicycle, but look at these great papers I've written, right? If you do that, you will struggle. And I've had many people send me their resumes, PhDs who are looking for jobs outside of academia. And I see this mistake repeated over and over again, where we're leading with our papers and we're leading with our accomplishments. And we're not really addressing if we are a great fit for the business problem they are hiring for, right? I did a whole video on this subject, right? So if you're thinking about leaving academia and going into non-academic jobs, I highly recommend that you watch that video. I'll link it up here somewhere. But your papers are important. And I want to add this personal anecdote, right? So personally, I took off my publications from my resume somewhere in 2019. And both of the jobs I've held outside of academia since that time, right, none of them have asked for my papers, right? All I have on there, and I have a one-page resume right now, it's about a page and a half, but what I really focus on is how my past experiences make me a good fit for that role. My papers are not on there. Usually I leave my education to the last line, right? I heavily focus on experience and how I'm a fit. And so, you know, that's to encourage somebody out there that I haven't had my papers on my resume since like for almost 5 years, and it has not hurt me. It's not gonna hurt whether you put them on there or you don't put them on there, but do not weight them, do not measure them the same way we do in academia, because definitely outside of academia, unless you're going to a very academic adjacent role, your papers are not just seen in the same light. It's just what it is. I hope this was helpful. If it was, let me know in the comments below.